Hey everyone, Dale here with Renewable Innovations. It's been a minute since I last posted a video. We've been pretty busy behind the scenes working with various electrical contractors and homeowners, but with the heat wave coming, I figured what better time to start talking about clean, renewable energy again than right before the summer. Now, normally I'd want to start off a new video with something upbeat, maybe a new product, exciting pricing, or some new technology hitting the market. And there's plenty of that to talk about, so be sure to subscribe because you're not going to want to miss out because, there's just so much to talk about. But instead, I want to address the elephant in the room, and that's the recent bankruptcy filing involving one of the largest residential solar installers in the country, Freedom Forever. Now, this video really isn't about Freedom Forever specifically because over the last several years, we've continued to see solar companies struggle, downsize, or just completely disappear altogether. Freedom Forever is just the latest example and probably not the last. The real topic here is why this keeps happening in the solar industry over and over and over again. And after spending the last 2 years working more directly with electrical contractors and homeowners, I think I understand the issue a lot better now than I did several years ago. See, one thing many homeowners don't realize is that a solar contractor is very different from a traditional electrical contractor, even if both companies hold the exact same electrical licensing. In the state of California, majority of solar companies operate under a C10 electrical license because once you install batteries, you're doing what is considered electrical work. Though I'd argue solar is electrical work, but that's beyond the point and this video. See, there's actually a C46 solar contractor license, but very few solar companies actually hold this license because it doesn't really allow for battery installations without an electrical engineering stamp on the plans, and that means money. So that C46 license, well, it was really intended more for pool solar heating systems, also known as pool thermal systems, but it was expanded by the state to include solar electric systems. Whether I agree or disagree with it, it's there regardless. Now, the licensing side isn't really the issue here. I only mention this because they carry the same electrical license an electrician would have, a solar company that is, to an electrical contractor. The real issue though is these solar companies keep failing because of their margins. At the end of the day, businesses need healthy profits to survive long term. That's just the reality. A healthy business in most industries is usually going to operate somewhere around 37 to 45% margin, depending on the type of business, of course. I mean, hell, Apple reportedly makes around 60% margin on their higher end iPhones, and people line up around the block to pay $2,000 every single year. But solar companies have spent the last decade aggressively competing against each other by driving prices lower and lower and lower, trying to win your business. Everybody wants the cheapest high-end solar quote possible until, of course, something breaks or the company is nowhere to be found, and then they're just confused, which you shouldn't be. I find this rather ironic because those same people will walk into an Apple store and pay full price on an iPhone 17 Pro Max without even blinking, but then turn around and shop for the absolute cheapest solar contractor they can find to power their entire house for the next 25 years. Make it make sense. And the problem is the margin in solar installations are not what many people think they are. Once you factor in labor burdens, healthcare, if they even offer it, permitting and engineering fees, because you still need those things, vehicles, company insurance, fuel costs, financing fees, sales commissions, if you of course pay your sales guys, advertising, office staff, warranty exposure, and you need general materials, of course, that actually just eats into the profits a lot more than you might think. So it becomes surprisingly thin. To put this into perspective, I want to give you a simple real-world example using a 20-panel system with modern 430-watt modules. The make and model really doesn't matter for this example, but I want to go with something we actually offer here at Renewable Innovations and that we consider to be top tier. And for that sake, we're going to be using the Q-Cell Qtron modules. So that's roughly an 8.6 kilowatt DC system. And under NEM 3.0, if you're in California, of course, most homeowners are going to need batteries if they actually want solid savings from the system. So let's include a single Tesla Powerwall 3 because that's one of the most popular batteries being installed right now, and for good reason. Well, the total cost of the project will land you somewhere around $35,000 fully installed. That's about $23,000 for the solar and $12,000 for the battery. And from the outside, people look at that and think, wow, solar companies must be making insane amounts of money on these projects. But after everything is factored, in many of these companies, they're sitting much closer, I would say at best, maybe 20-25% margin, but more often they're closer to 10 to 15%. That's not very healthy for growth or slow periods, which the industry is currently experiencing. Now apply that to a small local solar contractor, and suddenly the numbers don't look very good long-term for them at all. Fuel costs go up, insurance goes up regularly, workers' comp goes up regularly, material pricing is constantly changing, office overhead grows if you're obviously trying to grow the company, marketing costs increase, you have to pay sales commission, of course, financing companies want their cut, the list goes on, and all of that starts eating away at already thin margins. And then on top of that, many of these companies are offering 10 to 25-year workmanship warranties. Mind you, they're required by state law in California to offer a minimum of 10 years. Think about that for a second. The solar contractor may only make several $1,000s on a project after everything is said and done, but now they carry warranty exposure on your project for potentially 2.5 decades. Every truck roll, every service call, every roof leak issue, every troubleshooting visit affects those margins long term. So what ends up happening? Well, they need more sales to sustain the previous sales. It's kind of like robbing Peter to pay Paul. And if any of them are telling you the system is passive, meaning doesn't require any servicing, well, they're just straight up lying to you. But let's compare that to a traditional electrical contractor, because this is where things get really interesting. Let's say you contact a local electrical contractor to install recessed lighting throughout your house. Maybe you have a 3-bedroom home, you want some lights in the living room, and you want 4 recessed lights, LED of course, in each room. Well, now you're talking about a 16 recessed light project. You're going to have switches, you're going to have a whole shebang going on. And depending on the fixtures and complexity, maybe that project lands somewhere around $3,000 to $5,000. Doesn't sound too bad. It could be more, it could be less. It depends on your area and where you're getting quotes. Margins on a project like that are usually healthier than a solar. And I understand it's a lower dollar value, but you'll understand why that doesn't matter. In many cases, an electrical contractor may operate closer to a 40% margin on smaller electrical projects. And the workmanship warranty is probably 1 year, maybe 2 years if they really stand behind their work. But you're definitely not seeing 10 or 25-year warranties on recessed lighting. Well, let's say 6 months later, maybe that same homeowner, you call that same electrical contractor back to install ceiling fans in these same rooms. Well, okay, that's some more revenue for that same contractor. Then maybe a year later, you decide you want dimmer switches installed on these. Okay, let's get you some dimmer switches. Maybe you want to add landscape lighting, or you receive a notice for an electrical panel, or maybe you buy your first electrical vehicle and then you need a level 2 EV charger installed. There's a lot of projects here. So the ticket prices are usually smaller than solar, but the relationship with you, the customer, keeps going for years, with better margins that ultimately surpass the solar contractor long-term in income. So a lot of those future projects don't require new marketing costs by the electrical contractor, because now they've become your go-to electrician. Are you following me here? That's the big difference. A solar contractor usually gets one major sale, maybe two if the homeowner adds batteries later or more solar, but it's pretty far and in between. A good electrical contractor, on the other hand, keeps building reoccurring business from the same clients over and over and over without constantly spending huge amounts of money trying to acquire brand new customers every single month. I'm not saying they don't do any marketing, but it's totally different budget strategies. And I really think this is one of the biggest reasons solar companies struggle as they scale. They are constantly chasing the next sale while carrying long-term warranty obligations on projects they completed years ago. And the workmanship varies greatly depending on the crew they send out to perform the solar installation. Not all companies train their crews equally, even if they're in the same company. It's crazy. Now, obviously, this isn't every company. There are some good solar companies out there, and there are definitely bad electrical contractors too. I've seen some pretty rough work from both sides of the industry. But the first thing any homeowner says when I get called out to inspect a failed project is, yeah, we went with the cheaper quote. Go figure. And look, I get it. Solar can feel expensive. Batteries are expensive. But there's a point where pricing just becomes unsustainable for the solar contractor or business doing the work. And a lot of these companies got stuck in a race to the bottom. And the problem with the race to the bottom is eventually somebody hits the bottom. And no, I'm not saying the guy with the higher quote is going to do a better job, because you're likely just paying some solar bro a ridiculous commission. That's something you got to be careful of, and it's part of the industry. Now, 99% of solar companies really don't operate like full electrical contractors. Their crews are trained specifically around solar workflows, meaning roof penetrations, mounting the systems, conduit runs, modules installation, the panel termination, commissioning the equipment. The list goes on. And if you call any solar company and ask them to install recessed lighting throughout your house, or troubleshoot difficult electrical issues, or handle a full electrical remodel for an ADU, most of them won't even touch it, because that's not really the type of work they do. And honestly, I think that separation matters more than people realize, because the future really isn't just solar panels. It's LED lighting upgrades, it's induction cooktops, electric water heater, home automation, it's load management, it's electrification in general, and it's all becoming one giant ecosystem. Now, after spending the last year or two working more closely with electrical contractors, I think the future is going to involve more separation between solar installation and long-term electrical services. Hell, we already see solar insurance programs available. There's two well-known brands, and I'll be doing a video on it, so be sure to subscribe if you want to understand the value or disvalue of those. But that's actually part of the reason Renewable Innovations operates differently. We're currently partnered with a manufacturer that does the installations. That's Axia by QCell. And so they do the solar installation. But we also work with local electrical contractors like Slazik Electric or John's Electric for your batteries, your electrical upgrades, and any long-term electrical support like lighting and remodels. To me, that structure makes a lot more sense long-term because you as the homeowner need real electrical contractors for ongoing electrical work, not just somebody that installs solar once and then goes out of business like Freedom Forever. At the end of the day, I still believe in renewable energy. I still believe batteries are the key future here. And I still believe electrification is going to continue growing rapidly over the next decade. And if you don't believe that, I think you're tripping. But I also think the industry is going through a major correction. If you haven't noticed already, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but these companies just haven't been as honest as they need to, and their business models just aren't ideal. They don't have healthy margins, so they're going to continue struggling, which, what are you going to do besides go out of business? You have no choice. Anyways, it feels good to finally be back making videos again. Please be sure to like, subscribe to the channel for more electrifying content because we have a lot in store for you. And if you have any feedback, feel free to leave your opinion down in the description below to why Freedom Forever or any solar company has gone out of business. Love your feedback. And if you're a homeowner looking for guidance on solar, batteries, maybe you have a do-it-yourself system you've been thinking about, EV chargers, electrical upgrades, we're here for you. Or maybe you're an electrical contractor looking for help with permitting, utility coordination, plan designs, estimating, or back-end support. Feel free to reach out using the links down in the description below. Renewable Innovations is here to help you. I have over a decade of experience in the industry, not just solar, and it's growing in the electrical space. I've studied the NEC code extensively, and I stay on top of a lot of this stuff. I can't say the same for everyone, but we're a little bit of a different breed, and I would be thrilled to have you as a client. Again, I'm Dale with Renewable Innovations. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.